Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Light of Divine Love. I'm your host, Kelly Miller, and I just want to thank you for joining me today. And I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Uh, Today, I'm going to touch on a few things and close out a few years really fast and bring us up to where I'm headed to, which is my experience at Impact. And so, one of the things I like to bring up today is I talked about my girlfriend Janice that I had not seen in 3 years, and I finally got to talk to and all that stuff. And I've been holding on to this one photo for almost 40 years. And I wanted to share it the last video, but I was a little nervous about doing it. But after meditating on it a couple of days, it just came to me that it would be really serving for her to know that after all these years, I've still always have cared for her. So this is the photo of her. Her real name is Janice Marie Gustafson, and she had a brother named John Michael, and they lived out in Lomita, California. And this photo was taken in 1986, and she is talking to me on the phone right there. And so I wanted just to share this just in case she herself, again, I don't know if she ever thought about me or thinks about me or ever really wanted any closure. But for myself, I would love to just talk to her and find out what happened to her in her life. I hope she's having an amazing life and everything is working great for her. But I just wanted her to know that, after all these years, I care for her as a human being, and I just wanted to share her photo with the world and let people know who this person was. She was a very big part of my life at that time, and if she would ever like to reach out, there's an email, werealldivine@gmail.com, if she would like to reach out and just bring some closure for herself and for me. So anyways, with that being said, we're going to move on to another timeline in my life, which is we're looking at late 1986 when I talked about these bands that I had been working with and people that I knew. This is the only album of Hawk ever made. And the sad thing is Charles, the guy who wrote some of the songs on here, unfortunately, didn't ever get to sing on them. And this band, unfortunately, had self-destruct. This is the guy that we had all been waiting to see play guitar. His name is Doug Marks, and he was in like Hit Parader and Circus Magazine, selling the metal method guitar. If you had a VCR, you could buy these cassettes and be able to learn how to play guitar from this gentleman right here, who was an amazing guitar player. Like I said, everybody was waiting to see this guy play. And when we saw him play, it was just a great experience. He really knew his stuff and definitely deserves some honor in his practice. Unfortunately, this band self-destructed right before this album came out. A lot of personal substance abuse, alcohol, and they were a great band and they had all the potential in the world to be something. Unfortunately, that just kind of ruined everything for them, and pretty much I never saw Doug perform again. And so after Charles had left that band, he went back to his brother's band, and this is the only thing that they made was this 45 with 2 songs on it. And this was a really great experience for them because they never got to do anything really with their music and ever have it personally like recorded in any way. So this was like a big milestone for them. And shortly after, around 1987, we played a show for a girl for her 21st birthday, and this is out in Rancho Cucamonga, and I had no idea that they were getting ready to axe the drummer. And so we go and we do this show, and basically we're tearing down. I'm looking for the truck, can't find the truck anywhere. I go to the drummer like, dude, truck's gone, what's going on? He's freaking out. So we ended up taking all his equipment to this lady's house that basically paid for the band to come out and perform for them. And the following day we're leaving, and homie gets in his car and he takes off and he leaves. And me and the girl in the truck, we can't find this guy at all. He's just taken off. So we ended up going back to this lady's house, and I ended up, like staying there because basically I hadn't slept for a long time. And the lady said that I had slept for 3 days, and she was really like concerned about like my safety. Like, dude, like you just like fell asleep. And she had no idea who I was, just was the fact that I was working with the band. And so I stayed with her for about maybe 3 weeks. She had been recovering from breast cancer, and she didn't really have anyone there to help take care of her. So during that time, I stayed with her, and eventually she got better. And she took me to this Spanish lady named Carmen. It's apparently she is like a tarot card reader type person, and she had gone there to have a reading. Now this woman speaks really thick Spanish, so she had her granddaughter translate for us. So they decided that they were going to do a reading for me, and which was really strange because I've never experienced anything like this. And so she has these shells and these feathers, and she's burning sage and all this stuff, and she's doing this chant. And as you know, she pulls out these tarot cards. Now this is many years ago, so I can't even tell you what it said. But the thing that had always lived with me was the fact that she had said that I was beautiful. There was a feminine energy coming from me, very strong feminine energy coming from me, which was really weird. And you know, she had asked her granddaughter to ask if I was like gay or bisexual or anything like that, and I was like, not that I'm aware of. And so she just kept saying very feminine energy, and she did a cleansing on me, which was really weird. So that's an experience that I wanted to share with people, because this is when I started to really get into these deja vus. We're going to fast forward now towards mid 1987. I have this dream, and I'm by this tree, and I'm doing something, and to my right is a storage yard. And I had seen this before because I take that path every day going to school when I went back, because I went to a second high school. And so I'm riding my bike, headed towards baseball practice, and not realizing that I had some not good substances with me. So I stop by that tree and I bury it right there where I had dreamt it. And I get on my bike and I ride towards practice, and I get pulled over by the police. And they stop and search me to see what I have, because I'm on my bike and I'm riding really fast, and it just looked suspicious. So that was around 1987 when I had my third deja vu, and still not understanding why I have these dreams and really what it's supposed to be bringing to me, I guess in a sense of a message. So basically, we're going to move forward now towards 1990, 91, where I'm with Teresa, and Teresa is already getting ready to leave to go to Hawaii. And here's where I make some more bad choices in my life. So I'm 21, I'm going out, and I meet this older woman in her late 30s. We're going to call her Juliet, because she really loved Romeo and Juliet. And so we hook up, we get together. And at this time, Juliet doesn't really say that she is married. She says she is separated from her spouse and that he lives somewhere else. So me being so desperate for love and affection and attention from someone, I continue to see this woman, thinking that there's no real relationship between her and the husband. And this continued for about almost 2 years. And I held on to it, even knowing that there was a lot of red flags that I just wasn't paying attention to, because, again, I'm looking at, I've lost Janice. My next two girlfriends moved, Teresa's moved, and now I'm here in this like fifth relationship going, oh my God, you know, why does everyone keep leaving? So I'm doing anything and everything I can to hold on to it. I'm not even paying attention to the red flags, because there's so many times where we're supposed to get together and she doesn't show up, or she's going to call and she doesn't call, or when she does, it's like 5 hours later, or in all types of different types of scenarios that you can imagine, that I just kept continuing to accept, because I really liked her and we got along. We had a lot of things in common, but I just wasn't looking at the red flags and knowing what these red flags were causing to me, because here I'm wanting to go out with this person and she doesn't show up, and there's always an excuse, and there's always, you know, I promise I'll make it up, I promise, and this woman promised me to death. But I continue to hold on to that relationship, not realizing how it is affecting me emotionally, mentally, because of all the disappointing times when we're supposed to get together and we never do. So as I try to move away from Juliet, I meet this other girl, and she's in her 30s, and she has 2 kids from 2 previous men. And so you can see how I'm making one bad decision and making another one right on top of it. This woman was a little bit, closer to my age, but I still searching for a way to have some love in my life. And this was very difficult because I'm holding on to both these relationships, and neither one of them are serving me. And we're drinking a tremendous amount of alcohol. And that is causing so many fights between me and Juliet, and then me and, we're going to call her Karen 1, which is just making everything so unstable in my life. And that was very, very hard for me to like really let go of either one of them, because we're destroying ourselves and we're destroying each other, but yet we were like being around each other, and alcohol is the main factor of why these things are really not working for us. So as I continued to go through 1992 and 93, holding on to these relationships, eventually Juliet stopped calling and we stopped dating, and I was just dating Karen 1. And this is right before I'm going to get ready to have another new job that I was trying to get, working at another restaurant called TGI Fridays. I had been trying to get in there for quite some time, and I just didn't have enough experience. And then finally I was able to get an interview and get hired. And even though so many things are falling apart in my life, this was a really important job, because I really was trying to get away from the graveyard job working at the coffee shop, just because it was just like, it's me by myself, and I'd already been doing it for about 2 years, and I needed a change. And this was going to be an opportunity where there was more money, more possibility for advancements, because the coffee shop was basically just really a dead-end job, but it served its purpose for the time. So again, I'm continuing to drink. I'm hanging out with Karen 1, and at some point, baby daddy starts getting involved with this relationship, showing up whenever he wanted to. I understand he wanted to see his child, but he would just do it at really inconvenient times when we're trying to go somewhere, or we're trying to go to sleep, or whatever it might be. And there was more challenges, because the family always had an opinion and always wanted to get involved in anything, and they like to create a lot of conflicts between Karen and me and baby daddy and all those other things. And it just came to the point, like, you know what, this relationship I got to get out of, because it's killing me. But unfortunately, at that moment, we were living together, and so I had to find another place to live as fast as possible. And that's when finally I had met my friend who was a Dolphin fan, and I lived with him for a while. And that's when I made that football prediction. So this is leading up to 1994. We're at the very beginning. And right now I'm going to stop the story because the next story is really, really crazy. And this is what's going to lead me to my experience at Impact. So I wanted to separate these 2 stories from each other. So right now, I just want to say thank you again for tuning in and watching my show. I really appreciate it. I love you very much. You're beautiful. And before I close out, I want to do some Oracle Angel cards for the day, and see if we can get some empowerment, inspirations to, again, look into our hearts, look into the things that might be happening to us and for us, and see how we can make some changes in our own adventure here. Because again, sometimes it's hard to close out of things and move on. And when I look back at those 2 experiences, I don't know why I held on. Well, I know why I held on, because I was just scared to be left alone. But it was a challenge, and today I can do that. So right now I'm going to pull this Angel Whisperer card, 143, and it says, preparation. Life is filled with phases. The whisperer is telling you to prepare for the unexpected and allow change to pass through with a sense of peace. Financial and creative changes are upon you. And there's an affirmation. My dreams and desires are coming to fruition, bringing change that I welcome with an open heart and mind. That's a very beautiful message. Preparation is something that we don't really do, or at least some of us don't do. And when things are happening in our life, it's very difficult to take a step back and really prepare yourself in a different way to handle that situation. And for me, the thing I really like about this is unexpected, prepare for unexpected and allow change to pass through you with a sense of peace. Sometimes it's very difficult, even for myself, when I'm dealing with my own issues, to realize that this challenge is just going to make me stronger and more determined to overcome it. And the thing that I really also like about this is welcome it with an open heart and mind. Sometimes we have no idea what the universe is throwing at us and why it's throwing so many curveballs. And, we get going on our track and then something happens and we try again, then something happens. And that becomes very frustrating. And again, I use myself as an example. Patience, again, is very big for me. I'm trying to move things in my life. And so welcoming things with an open heart and open mind allows me to maybe slow down a little bit and let the universe make its final decisions through how these things are going to change my life. All right, we're going to try this other card right here. See what this one says. Bam. Worth. You're being asked to honor your worth. It can be so easily to feel that we aren't good enough or worthy of happiness. This simply isn't the case. However, you are worthy and you have inherent value. It's time to cherish yourself and see your true worth. That's a very beautiful message. Self-worth is one of the most important things that we can have. It really does build your confidence and your self-esteem. And to honor it is very important because, we always want to be people pleasers, but sometimes we have to say no in a situation that may not be beneficial for you. And as you can see in those last two relationships that I had, I really wasn't valuing my self-worth. I was hanging on to something that wasn't serving me. And as much as I knew that it wasn't serving me, I still continued to hold on to it. And that was a very bad choice for me. So self-worth, I think, is very, very important, that everyone should really, truly just sit back and take a moment and reevaluate how you feel about yourself and your self-worth. That's a very beautiful message. And again, I'm not sure how that may resonate for you today, but hopefully it will bring you some insight on things that you can change for yourself. All right. 43. Self-expression. I express myself freely and authentically. My voice and creativity shine brightly, inspiring others and enriching my life. I am confident in sharing my unique gifts with the world. That's really strange that this would show up for me. As you can tell, I told you in the very beginning, I'm biologically male, but I prefer to identify as female. And expressing myself freely, my authentic self, and my voice. This is how I choose to show up in the world, and this is how I want people to acknowledge me as Kelli Miller. And this is my voice sharing my story with you to hopefully empower, inspire, and enlighten you to, again, take a moment, look into your heart, look into your life, and see if it's going in the direction that you want it to go and what may be holding you back. Again, I don't have the answers for anybody's lives, barely my own, but this card is very beautiful. And I'm going to read it again. Self-expression, 43. I express myself freely and authentically. My voice and my creativity shine brightly, inspiring others and enriching my life. I am confident in sharing my unique gifts with the world. Like I said, I am a musician. That is one of my creativity and my unique gifts that I have been given to share with other people. And I am shining my light brightly by living as Kelli Miller, which is my true authentic self. I feel like maybe in my past life, maybe I was this person, I don't know. And I do have unique gifts. We all have unique gifts. When we come into this world, we are given the gifts that we have, whether it is singing, dancing, driving, whatever it might be, acting. Those are your unique gifts that you were given and that you get to use here to make a difference in the lives of other people that you touch. So this is a very beautiful card for me. It really resonates for me. I hope that you will take a moment to think about how unique you are and let your light shine in this world, because that's what this show is really about, the light of divine love, your beautiful love. It's very sacred and it's yours to give away free to whoever you want to give it to. And again, that's a very beautiful card. Again, I hope this really inspires you and empowers you to live your life truly to the fullest, because this is the only opportunity that you have. And again, you're all beautiful, you're all amazing, you are all a divine, celestial, spiritual entity of light, love, and consciousness in a human form that you now get to play in this planet and experience all the wonderful things that come with it. So again, I thank you very, very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. And have a good night, and God bless you. Thank you very much.
People will come and people will go, but most of this world aren't worth it to know. This life might deal you one or two true friends, so fight for what's yours till this life comes to an end. Some will try tempting your heart's desire, lifting you up while they set you afire. So don't ever keep your true feelings in check, 'cause nothing's worth losing your self-respect.